has changed. America has changed. If something were to happen tomorrow, how self-sufficient would you be? Could you grow your own food? Could you sustain your own livestock? Could you survive? This is the We Grow Our Show with Nick and Don. Nick and Don talk about everything from politics to planting. They cover techniques, methods, and tips on how to not only survive, but thrive. Visit the website at WeGrowOurs.com. Lock and load. This is the We Grow Our Show. Get your grow on.
Welcome back to the We Grow Our Show. We've got everything from Kune Kunes to Kune culture and also a little story about witchcraft.
Oh, no. Witchcraft?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming.
No, me neither until just now I remembered one.
I don't remember that in the show prep.
Oh, man.
Show prep. That would be funny if we actually prepped.
Yeah. If you guys could see the Situation Room, it's pretty astounding. Cables everywhere, thrown together. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Oh, gosh. Don's the wizard. Anyway, so I got to tell a story.
All right, tell it.
So, as some of you know, I went to Mexico and I lived there for a while. Learned Spanish, hung out with the Mayan people, which was kind of cool because I didn't realize that Mayans still existed. I thought they got wiped out.
Well, let me just say something now because I want to stop you with that Mayan thing. The fact, hanging out with Nick, the fact that he speaks perfect Spanish is kind of cool because he can tell me what everybody around me is saying. And I'm going to interrupt with another story because what happens when you go to Vegas and speak Mayan to salespeople?
Oh, it's hilarious. Do you want me to tell that story?
Yes. I mean, mine as well.
All right,
you brought it up.
We've got two. This isn't the witchcraft one, but it's pretty freaking awesome. My wife and I went to Vegas, and we don't gamble and we don't go to any of the shows. We just walked the strip, and that was entertaining enough for us, I guess. It was hilarious. There were salespeople everywhere pushing these timeshare things, and they were trying to sign you up to do this, do that, and give you comps, but then they'd charge you for it. And after about the third one, I was like, okay, they're not going away. I need to find something interesting to do with these people. And a lot of them spoke Spanish, so I couldn't just go to plan A, which is start speaking in Spanish, because then they'd start speaking in Spanish. So I would respond to them in Mayan. and they would look at me like, huh? And this one guy is like, hey, you here with your wife? And I was like, Ma, that's not tic Maya. He's like, what? Ma, that's not tic Maya, which means you don't speak Mayan. And I just kept saying it over and over to him. And he's like, all right, move along.
All right, so now on to your witchcraft.
Okay, so in this heavily Mayan populated area, there is a form of voodoo mixed with Catholicism. It's Santeria.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It was in a movie. It's creepy.
It's some pretty spooky stuff. It's basically, I'm not even going to try to explain it, but it's a form of witchcraft. I don't know if that's what this lady was using or why she was labeled a witch, but we were sitting in this home and talking with the family, and this old woman walks into the house. Like, she wasn't invited. She didn't knock on the door. She just walked in, and everybody was like, oh, hey, and just kind of ignored her. And she went and she sat down in the chair across from me. And honestly, when the door opened, I felt cold. And it's 90 degrees plus humidity there. So I feel just like, oh, wow, that's an icky feeling. And this little 7-year-old girl, that was the baby of the family, comes up, sits down next to me and whispers in my ear, "Es bruja." It's like, what, bruja? What's bruja? Bruja? Broom? No. Brujeria is witchcraft. Oh my gosh, she's a witch. Like, I wonder why she called her that. And so I was talking with the little girl a little bit. I was like, why'd you call her that? And she's like, she's a witch. she practices magic. She's very spiritual. I'm like, wow, I'm getting creeped out. So I had heard, and I'm pretty sure I heard it in a Goosebumps novel back in 4th grade, but I heard that if you took a picture of a witch, they wouldn't show up on the camera.
Right.
Or on film. So I very slyly incognito pull out my digital camera, turn the flash off, and meanwhile we're sitting here talking to this family, and the lady had turned on the TV and was watching TV and paying us no attention whatsoever. And I pull the camera up out of my bag and I just kind of set it up on top and snap a couple of pictures in her direction and slide it back into my backpack and continue talking, finished up there, and we're walking out of there. And we're about, I don't know, a quarter of a mile from the house walking, and I pull it out and I look. She's staring right at me in the pictures. She showed up, but when I took them, she was looking at the TV. When I looked at the camera, she was glaring at me. I kid you not. I looked at those and went, oh, peed a little, and we ran home. It was scary.
All right, so that's a completely off-topic, fun story for the week.
Anyway, yeah, I figured it'd be entertaining enough to tell everybody in the world.
I wish.
So help us get that out there to everybody. That's facebook.com/WeGrowOurs.
Yeah, and we need 3,000 likes on that page because Nick is giving away a 3-tier cage system.
That's right.
We've got 1,500. We're halfway there. All you guys have to do is share the page.
That's right.
And like it. Like it first and then share it. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Like and share.
Like and share.
Yes.
So please.
Like and share. That's a friendly werewolf.
Okay. Where is the show going today?
I don't know.
It's going to
Halloween.
the pigs.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's coming up next.
That's right. And Brian, by the way, I'm still glad you're listening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and thank you for the show, the whole show.
The whole show. Yeah.
Anyways, up next, we've got a pig farmer from Texas.
Yeah, and he's got his webpage, too.
Yes, it's
just you guys, we'll put it in the show notes, but you guys got to click on that. Go check out. He's got a really good kind of frequently asked questions thing, and he really gets into depth, and he's a pretty reputable breeder. So when you're listening here, go over to WeGrowOurs.com. It'll be episode 35. Go check out his website. Take a look at it because it's going to give you a lot of information to supplement with the show here. So, Craig with Kune Kunes?
Craig with the Kune Kunes.
Kune Kunes.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's lonesomestar.com. Lonesome Star Farms? No, I think it's just Lonesome Star.
Yeah. So we'll put it in the show notes. Go to the website, take a look at it, and
what will you do when your stored supplies run out? Are you prepared? Hostile Hair provides equipment and education you need to control your own infinite food supply. We have live food storage systems, rabbits, quail, and other urban livestock for any situation and strategy. Don't be limited by what's on the shelves. Get started with an infinite food source today. Get prepped, stay fed with Hostile Hair. Call 480-331-3761 or visit hostilehair.com.
All right, welcome back to the We Grow Ours show. We've got somebody that loves his pigs on the line. Craig, how you doing there?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing over there?
Doing awesome. So, as I understand it, you've got a farm. It's Lonesome Star Farm in Texas. Is that right?
That's right.
Now,
that's right.
Looking at your website, it looks like you're raising teddy bears. What are those things?
Yeah, some call them teddy bears or Ewoks. Other people call them dinner. So it really depends on, so, it just depends on who I'm talking to. But, that's the great thing about these. They're called Kune Kune. They do fit many hats. They are a very special unpig, as I call them. That's Kune Kune, that's Kune, Kune. And I'm at, lonesomestar.com. And they really do, fill a wide continuum of people and purposes and needs.
Yeah, there's a local lady here in Arizona that, she's raising them more as pets, but as I understand it, they're a decent meat breed too, right?
That's right. They are pigs, and they're not only are they a heritage breed like Berkshire or some of the other equally awesome breeds out there that I'm sure some of your listeners also grow for meat independent, but they're very versatile in what they do.
Right on.
So how big do these pigs get?
They get to be about a very manageable size. Unlike some pigs, especially the commercial kinds, that can get to be, even 600 to 800 pounds. These guys get to be about 150 pounds. So they always know who's boss, who's you. Of course, even if they were massive, their temperament is amazing. The Kune Kunes, even the adult males, the boars, they're like Ewoks. They're like the head Ewok. They're just very impressive. They'll come up to you and they'll even lay down because they like a belly rub. I don't know what to tell you. It's very docile. So here you have this lumbering 250-pound. That's the biggest they get too. They, like I said, they're very manageable size, and that's the boars, the big boars with a big plate on the back and everything. But they walk up to you, and if you get to know them a little bit, they'll lay down. You can pet them on the belly, and they're very friendly, very docile.
Sounds like a dog that produces bacon. I'm kind of excited about this.
Yes, it really is. It's really delicious. Not only are they a heritage breed, but they're a lard pig too. And so what I'm trying to do here at Lonesome Star Farm is take some lard pig characteristics and lean it up just a little bit, because you don't want too much lard either. And so I'm using a couple of different breeds, or a couple of different types. Like one is called Rebecca Gina. That's one of the genetics. Like any breed of pig, there's 10 or 20 different genes inside, and I use Rebecca genes are really great, and so they produce a little more of a hardy, tough, a little bit leaner lard pig, and so it's just a great marriage between a workhorse for the family farm, for the homesteader, but at the same time, like I said, very docile.
Are these pigs social animals, or do you need multiples, or can somebody have one pig and raise it and eat it and then get another one?
Like an Ewok, yes, they are very social. They love to be around people, actually. I even think they prefer to be around people than fellow pigs, but they are herd animals. So, I always give discounts on 2 or more, because it really is not healthy for them to be by themselves.
Okay.
And it is really good to pair them up, and they are much more healthy and get along and so forth. But I tell you, you walk in their pen, and they will, almost every time, they will walk up to you. They'll come up to you for of course they are pigs, they're looking for food, but if all you have is a hand and a pet, and it's like they get in this catatonic state. It's just, you just have to see it or look it up on YouTube. You pet them just right. They lay down, and all 4 legs just stick out like it's some kind of catatonic thing, and it's quite a sight.
Very cool.
That's kind of how I get when somebody rubs my belly, though, so I understand. So this is one of the reasons that the Kune Kunes caught my attention is they are a smaller pig. The range between 150, 250 pounds. It's very manageable. That's even backyard size. And a lot of the people that listen to this show are urban homesteaders or suburban homesteaders that don't have a whole lot of room. This pig doesn't need a whole lot of space to frolic about, does it?
No, not at all. And it loves thin-bladed grass, especially. It marries. It goes well with goats, because goats eat more, trees, bramble, so forth, and these guys eat thin-bladed grass, and they actually don't typically eat roots either. And so they really are the stereotypical lawnmower, just like some goats are. They'll cut a nice 2-inch lawn, and you got to get the putter out, and it's pretty good stuff.
Nice. So they're taking care of the fairways for you. So okay,
yeah, exactly.
I live in a homeowners association, and if I have a pig in my backyard, it can't squeal, it can't be noisy. How are these on noise?
They're very, very good on noise. Now, you put, a bunch of feed or whatever in front of any animal, especially me, and, there's going to be some hooping and hollering. But if you just have a couple of docile females, we have to be fair, being, livestock and animals and all. compared to most dogs, they're quite quiet.
Okay.
But to be honest, they do squeal. I have a link on my website that connects it to, the movie Psycho, the shower scene.
Yeah.
Ring, ring, ring. But, that's only, like if they really don't get their way and, like, let's say you put some sweet feed out in front of them and then you take it away like some evil person, so, so would a dog, so would me. And, so for reasonable circumstances, they don't act unreasonable. But homeowners association, what kind of lawyer do you have? Yeah, good luck with that. But
hey, I was raising 250 rabbits a month out of my HOA, and nobody knew about it. So, I'm willing to take a risk. If somebody complains, I'll be like, I don't know, we just had a baby, and I don't know.
Nice.
That's what you're hearing. I got him in the backyard.
Yeah, one of those wild pigs that just walked by. Yeah,
it's a javelina.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do they require a lot of space, or are they, can they be confined to a 10-foot by 10-foot pen? What kind of, what are you looking at for that?
Some people do that. Obviously, if you amend their their grass with some good feed, they are quoted as being known as the grazing pig. That being said, they do fine on grain too if need be. So that is very possible if, for the people with, land, not much land. The main thing they need, like I say, is just some TLC. They love to, be around people and so forth, or fellow pigs, or some goats or something. They're social creatures. But they do okay, in a confined space. But technically, you can, as long as the grass is decent, you can get about 5 per acre.
Okay.
That depends, on the acreage. Maybe in Arizona, maybe 3 per acre. Just to be conservative.
Unless they can eat sand, there's some places I don't think can handle that either.
Yeah. I've not had sand-finished beef before. I mean, sand-finished pork. It sounds a little gristly, but
yeah.
You never know. These guys are awesome. They can convert all sorts of stuff.
How about smell? I mean, I've been to pig farms, and now granted, the conditions that the pigs are in those farms isn't exactly optimal, but that is a nasty smelling poop. That's one of the worst I've ever smelled. How do yours smell? I mean, you've got them in a pasture, and they're not like confined in their poop. Is there a bad smell with them?
Generally speaking, no, because they are more pasture raised. In my opinion, as far as, and I am quite the poop expert. I don't have credentials yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, we're thinking of putting together a college that it starts with like Poop 101, and
I could prof that, yeah.
Okay.
If you need a prof, let me know. But yeah, it really depends on their feed, in my opinion. And so if just like people, but that's all. Yeah. So anyway, just what goes in comes out. So it's if you give them some good feed and some great grazing grass. You don't have to give them feed either. There's some great organic, alfalfa out there, stuff like that. Or other, consolidated grasses so anyway, to finally answer this very important question, it really is, especially if you're in a homeowner association with crazy neighbors. Yeah, my current operation is just on a couple of acres, and I've got quite a few of them. And my neighbor has never complained. And just the way the land is set up, it's right by his back door, literally.
He's probably afraid to complain because he recently watched the movie Snatch, where they explain how many pigs it takes to devour a carcass.
Oh, really?
He probably thinks you're going to feed him to the pigs. He's not going to turn you in.
That's true. I need to send him that movie just to be sure.
Just
he
to reconfirm.
Yeah. Here, happy birthday. Here's the DVD. So,
oh man.
but yeah, they are. I think that goes for most animals, but as long as you take care of them, then if you take care of them, they'll take care of you.
So what's the gestation period on a Kune Kune?
Well, it's for math challenge people like me, it's very nice because it's once they're pregnant, it's 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, and out comes baby Kunes, cute little Ewoks rolling around. So
bacon seeds.
Yeah. So although some say you can add 2 days to that to be very technical, but for me and my math formulas, I like 3 threes works for me.
There you
and
go.
then just be ready after that. So
3 Kune Kune.
Now, how many babies do they generally have?
It depends on which like I said, the Rebecca Ginas are really great. But it really does vary. That's where purebred and all that comes into really important play. But I think so the average is quite different. You should get about 6.
That's not bad.
Some of my breeding, because like I say, I'm one of the few meat breeders for Kune Kunes in America, and I'm able to do 11 to 12.
Wow.
That's a good litter.
But,
And
yeah.
How many a year?
You can do twice a year, as long as you're really careful. You want to, once a year is ideal, because from what I hear, it's hard work for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So
I've never experienced that. I don't care.
Exactly. So just whatever. Just get the ball rolling and keep it coming. But usually it's as long as it's like I said, good pasture, you're taking care of your stock. 2 litters a year at about 7 on average. Then that's so you go from in as long as you have adults, you start with adults. You go so you can go from 2 to 14 in just 1 year, and before you know it, you're it's hog heaven.
Now, out of curiosity, these Kune Kunes are not the least expensive pigs that I've seen when I've looked at pigs. So
they are not the least expensive. That's true.
So you can raise these for meat, but from everything I'm reading, you can also raise them for a pretty profit as kind of pets and reselling these too.
Exactly. Yeah, as long as I highly recommend you work with reputable breeders and make sure that they're DNA tested because they're somewhat of a rare animal, and so you do want to make sure that you go to. There's 2 associations, and you can just Google them and find them easily. And
well, you've got them linked to your page, don't you? I thought I saw that on your page.
And we'll get your page in the show notes too.
Great. So yeah, once you work with a well-known, reputable, you get everything registered, and then because there's definitely like any rare livestock, there's fakes out there a little bit, and so but the great thing about both associations is that they both DNA test, and so you know exactly who not only the parents are, but 3 or 4 generations back, and so if you do just a little bit of your homework, you can really get some really great animals. And they are not your cheapest animal, but I could go on and on, but it's really, if you go to lonesomestar.com, it delineates and itemizes all their great traits. But it's really worth it because they offer so much. They're what I call an unpig. I mean, I do need to mention real quick that like I said, they're one of the few even heritage breeds that don't root.
Yeah, they've got the snub nose.
Yeah, they have a very, like I said, being the grazing pig, in quotes, they have a very cute snub nose. And so, so they don't root. Now, I'm not going to say they never, ever, ever root, but it's very, very rare. And the few times I've seen in the past, it's because of a minor nutrient deficiency. And so you just get that fixed. In other words, it's not normal for them to do that. It's normal for most pigs to do that. And so they don't root. They're very docile, and they've got great litters. Some more real quick important facts is that, but this goes for most heritage breeds pigs, is that they're is that they're also naturally they don't get they're pretty good when it comes to disease and heat. They're pretty good heat tolerant and disease resistant. That's part of being purebred. And as you guys know, the importance of a purebred animal that's been around for 100 generations, or at least 100 years. And so that's the beauty of what we do as opposed to what the monoculture and scientists do, which is we breed all that beauty into it. And so if an animal is sick, they're not going to make it. They're going to be cold. And so these guys that I got and these other reputable breeders, it's the real deal, and they just don't get sick very much. And in my, again, you get a lot of opinions as far as shots go. In my personal opinion, I don't do shots at all because of that. Why fill it full of chemicals that could then fill our bodies? Why mess with all that if it's not necessary?
Yeah, I like that stance.
Yeah, I don't want to be eating that kind of stuff. So
right now, is the meat different than other pigs?
It really is. It's a red meat actually.
Oh wow!
It's a quite red, and being a lard pig, it's low marbled, really great hams, really great everything, but not quite up to say a Magnolista. I'm gonna put a drop for them because those guys are the best. But that's another great rare breed, but even more expensive and harder to find. Kune Kunes, they're the real deal.
Well, Craig, we really appreciate you on the show.
Sure.
I think there's going to be thousands more questions, but I think that the frequently asked questions page on your page will suffice on some of those, and if we get a high demand, we'll have you back on the show.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and what you guys do as well. Like I said, meat independence and supporting a local farmer, this, that, and the other. I mean, these are all great things, and I appreciate what y'all do.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Things just got real. The drugstore is closed and the doctor is unavailable. What are you going to do? Stock your medicine cabinet and bug-out bag with nature's alternative, essential oils. Visit mylavenderlife.com for all your essential oil needs.
What a great interview. I am going to get one of those little teddy bears.
The little Kune.
Seriously?
Kune.
We've tried this like 4 times. Kune Kune.
Kune Kune.
It's the same. It's Kune. Kune.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds different.
Kune Kune.
Yeah, Kune Kune. So my kid wants a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said no.
Well, they're only run about $1,000. I've got that.
Yeah, and he was saying how many you get 14 a year, 12 a year on average. If you're doing it right.
Yeah.
If they're doing it right.
If you're making sure they're doing it right. Oh my gosh.
So
you're such a pig.
That's $12,000.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you're not putting $12,000 of food into a pig.
Oh no,
even the babies.
Exactly, especially the babies. I mean, you figure a 250-pound pig. Well, he said 5 pigs per acre.
Yeah.
And that's, we'll just say, average grass growth. So if you're putting a bale of hay in there every other day to 5 pigs,
yeah,
you could really turn a profit.
Heck yeah. I mean, the meat, I'm sure it's good, but it almost seems to me that the way to do this, and this is just my opinion, is to raise them for emergency meat.
Exactly.
And sell the babies. I mean, I'd keep 5 or 6 of those and maybe $1 or $2.
You've heard of a cash cow. This would be a cash sow.
Because you got 4 females. Even if you only get 10 babies out of each one of them, that's 40 a year. That's 40 grand. And you can't be spending more than 10 in food. Yeah. I don't know if there's a big market for these guys either.
Well, and if you got set up with a fodder system and you're...
Heck yeah. I don't know if there's a big market for them, but if they're getting 1,000 a pig, there's got to be a market for them, or they wouldn't be getting 1,000 a pig.
Exactly. And if you hear 1,000 per pig, and you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, what a bunch of money for a pig!" Think of it this way: Have you ever seen a dog sold for less than $1,000 in a pet store?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They are always listed for $1,200, $1,600, $2,200.
I would never buy a dog from a pet store.
Neither would I, but there's people out there that spend that kind of money.
Yeah, and you think about $1,000 for a pig, so you're looking at $2,000 investment on something like this for a male and female. But out of that, you're getting
your ROI is
meat.
first year.
Yeah, well, not just your ROI, and then you figure, okay, you're getting 100 pounds of meat at least out of those.
Yeah, I mean, dressed carcass on a 150-pound animal, you're probably looking at 60% meat.
Yeah, so
just under 60%.
You figure if you're getting at least 100 pounds out of that, that comes out to $10 a pound of meat. That ain't that bad.
No, it's not.
It's a premium steak meat, price, but heck,
But you're not going to butcher the animal that you just bought.
Right. That's what I mean. You're butchering the babies. And again, if you get 6 of them, 8 of them, even that's 800 pounds of meat. Mm-hmm. Now your price is way down. So it's not as bad as it seems.
I think that yes, you're buying a novelty. From a world standpoint, it's a novelty. You've got a fuzzy pig that's a cute pet. Not many people have them, and a very, what do you call it? Not versatile. Something that you can apply to being a homesteader. It's the purpose of this pig is to grow food and to do it incognito. I talked to another breeder, actually, I'll name her, Robin Hutchison. Anyway, I'd like to link over to her too, because she's local here in Arizona. Anyway, I was talking to her, and she said that if you have one of these pigs next to a dog, the pig will try and mimic the dog.
Right.
In noises and stuff. And so if you've got a pig that sounds similar to a dog, you're getting away with it.
Yeah, you could probably get away with having them I'd say an HOA with a fairly larger backyard.
Yeah, you don't want to put in a double condo or anything like that.
Right, right. A patio home or something probably wouldn't work. But one of the other benefits, and I think a huge benefit over this type of pig from everything I've read, is that they aren't a rooter.
Exactly.
Which means they're not digging up your ground.
Yep.
So you can have the grass and you can have the pig out there chewing up the grass and mowing your lawn for you.
And fertilizing it.
Yeah, and if you do have the ability to have, a lot of our listeners have goats and other things, so they're allowed to have some of this. Not everybody's stuck in the HOA.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, but if you have a couple acres or even an acre, and you can put 2 pigs along with the goats and start doing that, they're going to go out and graze just like your other animals. They're not going to tear everything up like some traditional pigs. They just tear everything up.
Yeah, and they're not. My dad had pigs for a while, and I don't know what they were called. They're the pink ones with the black butts, or black faces with pink butts. They just kind of a half and half. Right. And they were not enjoyable. Like, going down and feeding them made me nervous. There was one of them, this is really gross, had a prolapsed anus that stuck out, and it looked like a pink donut sitting there.
Wow.
Don just dry heaved a little bit. Anyway, a couple of shock jocks here talking about an anus. But this
again, wow.
Anyway, so this stupid pig had the problem. He was obviously sick. And then one day we went down there and it was gone. The other pigs had bit it off of him. And
so he wasn't gone. It was gone.
The thing was gone. And we're like, oh, did it suck back in? And pretty soon he was really skinny and then he was gone. And all we found was the skull. These pigs ate.
Oh yeah.
So after that, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I fall down in here, I'm going to die.
Well, and I remember visiting pig farms where you feed from outside into the trough. You never went into the pig pen. Yeah. Because if you slipped, they would bite you and eat you. Ugh. So when you fed from the pig trough. Now, again, that's more factory-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a pet pig named Matilda, which was a 500-pound swine.
Oh, gosh.
I remember, she'd go out and you'd hear the honking because it was a small town up in Pennington in Jersey. And the pig would be laying on the street and no cars would be able to go by and she wouldn't leave. So you couldn't get by. So people be out there, because Matilda got out, somebody needs to go get her and you go over and yell at her and she'd get up and go. But if she didn't know you, she'd just lay there. What do you do with a 500-pound pig in the middle of a 2-lane road? She just lay there.
I think she's become self-aware.
Yeah, it was
She's the size of a Volvo. You don't need to.
That was
you
a
don't
pet
need to
pig.
listen to anybody.
Matilda was a pet pig. I think that was her name. I was a little. She was much. I mean, to me, this 500-pound pig. I was little. Like 5, 6 years old. And
man.
You see a pig like
Did
that.
you
think
try
it's
to
a
ride
freaking
her?
House. No, I was afraid of that dang thing.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that was a big pig.
Well, and I like
Try to ride her, she'd roll over on me and kill me.
Yeah, I guess that would do it.
Yeah.
No, oh man. And I did a little bit of research. This pig, the Kune Kune, originated in New Zealand. Now, they don't think that's where it started, but for some reason, that pig showed up in New Zealand. And the Maoris? I don't know. Who's the natives in New Zealand?
I have no idea.
It's
New Zealandese.
The Maoris or the Maoris. It's Moirs, I think. Anyway, they would raise them and they just had them loose around the house. And they were just they kind of like how the dog was domesticated from a wolf. These pigs were just kind of domesticated almost as a dog. And so their temperament is human friendly.
Right.
So I'm really interested in it. I got to try and talk my wife into getting one. I don't know.
And I know people have like potbelly pigs and things like that as pets. We actually saw one, $75. They had a pig down at the stock shop the other day.
That's a far cry from 1,000.
Yeah, but but what do you do with it?
Yeah.
It's a little thing that runs around the house, I guess. I mean, and they're rooters too. They'll go tear
really?
stuff.
The little guys like that?
They'll tear stuff up and they're like a little pet dog. So there's no real meat for those. It's not like they're a meat pig. These guys are meat pigs. And they're manageable size where somebody like myself or you could slaughter it if we wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to slaughter a 500-pound pig. I don't have a crane.
You got to have a winch, pull it up into a tree or something.
Yeah, so we're not equipped for things like that. So I think that's another kind of good point for these is they're manageable. 150 pounds is big, but a tree limb and a pulley works for that.
Exactly.
So
exactly
you can do it. So what else we got? You got any small business shout-outs?
Yes, I do actually.
Cool.
And a little bit of a story to go along with it. Oh, story time.
Again.
The hostile hair emblem.
Yes.
Pretty awesome, right?
It sure is.
The original was drawn by a friend of mine that I actually met in Mexico, Daniel Oliphant. He drew the original up, but recently I had somebody digitize it or vectorize it. And his name is Scott Curtis. And let me see if I can find it real quick, what his website is. But this guy does wonders. I used him to basically write up the brand for Hostile Hair. And that's what he does for a living is he will be your brand manager. Very talented. In fact, okay. The website is thebrandnavigator.com. And that's where you can reach him. But it was pretty awesome. Scott's been a friend of the family for a while. And, he's had businesses and then he went and worked for ASU and now he's starting this back up. And he's just a real down to earth guy. He's going to tell you how it is. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. He's going to tell you what you should do. And then he won't be offended when you tell him what you want to do.
Gotcha.
So, I would get on there. That's thebrandnavigator.com and, tell him the We Grow Ours girls.
Wow.
So I'm having an operation later and, I didn't want to tell you all this publicly.
So this is now the last show.
Oh, did things get weird?
Yeah.
You're going to edit that out, right?
I am.
Anyways, tell him Nick from Hostile Hair sent you and,
No. Tell him the We Grow Ours show
fine.
sent you.
Okay. The We Grow Ours show sent you and he'll say the what?
And then you say the guy with hostile hair.
Exactly. But anyway, he really helped me out and got everything set up. My truck looks bad A now and, pretty excited.
Nice.
Anyway, so that's the small business shout out.
Good one.
Thebrandnavigator.com.
Brandnavigator.com. I'll put that in the show notes too. Episode 35.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of cool. So again, wegrowers.com.
That's a whole lot of locking and loading.
Yeah, it is, huh? I still love the intro. Every time I hear it, I love it. It's like perfect.
Yeah, I have to admit, I feel a little bit corny afterwards because I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm here alone listening to my own intro.
Oh, we've got a trip coming up. We're going to drive up to Colorado.
You're going to force your wife to
drive home.
listen to it?
I figured, it's about 14 hours each way. That's 28 hours. We've got 35 episodes.
Averaging 50 minutes apiece.
Averaging 50 minutes. So I figure we'll probably miss a couple.
The ones that she's been on.
Sure.
There you go. How do you experience that firsthand? We don't have to listen to this one.
She said the other day, I'm ordering some books on tape. I hate listening to books on tape in the car when I'm driving.
Do you sleep?
They make me want to sleep, and I'm driving. I just don't like listening to books on tape when I'm driving. So I don't mind them.
But jerk the wheel into a damn bridge embankment.
Comedy, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Music, all good. Books on tape, no. So I said, don't bother. We've got 35 hours of podcast. It's not an issue. So yeah, that should be a fun trip. I get to listen to myself.
Narcissist.
I know, and I'm going to force my wife to do it too.
That's funny.
Yeah, it should be a good trip. So, wegrowers.com/ask us. Send in your questions.
Mm-hmm.
You can record it as if you go back an episode or two, as Brian did, and we'll put you on the show.
Yep.
We'll
make you famous.
Yeah.
You're going to be a star.
So we need some feedback from you guys on upcoming shows. We've talked about some that we want to do. Homeschooling we got coming up. We're going to have a couple different martial artists on, talk about female self-defense, women and kids, on up to, anti-kidnapping, all sorts of fun stuff, weapons, we're going to get manly with that. And homeschooling.
Because when your kids step out of line, it's good to know martial arts.
That's right. And this all goes to not just growing your own food, but it goes to empowering your independence.
Exactly.
So come visit us on Facebook. Come visit us on the website, twitter.com/wegrowers. And then don't forget, we've got October 25th and 26th.
The 2 days of that weekend. So 25th and 26th. We're going to be at Westworld in Scottsdale.
Yeah, Westworld in Scottsdale, which I think is a good venue. And it's kind of in the middle, too.
Yeah, it'll be, between us, but I'm BFE and you're in North BFE.
Exactly. So we're going to go to the middle. It's a really nice venue. We've been, my wife has been showing Arabian horses for years and years and years, ever since I met her.
Really? I didn't know that she showed horses.
Absolutely. National champion, a reserve national champion. And every year we'd go out to the Westworld. So I've seen it go from pretty much a dirt field up to what it is now, and it's nice. So come out. We're going to be up near the classrooms, kind of in the corner all by ourselves. So we're hoping that somebody stops by and says hi to us.
Yeah. All by myself.
So, and you can go to prepperfestaz.com and print off a $2 off coupon for that event, too. All the classes are included. How many classes? 30?
I don't know.
I think there's like 30 classes. They've got 4 classrooms running. Nick's going to be talking rabbits. I'm going to be doing black soldier flies. I'll have a biopod out there and some soldier flies for people to see. So if you've ever been interested in that, come by. Nick can't have any rabbits, but we'll have some other stuff out there. We'll have a little pet rabbit.
Freaking bitter. I'm going to get a taxidermist to make one.
There you go. I've got a neighbor that's a taxidermist,
Dude, I want to get him standing up and wearing a zoot suit.
Yeah, a zoot suit.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Holding a skull.
So come see what we have out there, because it sounds like it's going to be interesting. Also, go get your tickets for March of 2015. And yes, it's a little ways away, but we want you to go get the tickets for the fundraiser.
Hey man, we're preppers. We are prepared for this one.
That's right. So I know we changed the date because we weren't prepared.
We're preppers and we're hypocrites.
So we're going to be prepared. So get your tickets, print them out, come out. Thank you to hostlehair.com for sponsoring the show. My Lavender Life Essential Oils, mylavenderlife.com for being a great sponsor, and my wife, and EcoPod Gardens as well. Hey, without her, I couldn't do this show.
That's true.
There would be no way. So I get to come out for a couple hours a week and talk to friends. I had to think about what to call you. Get to talk to friends.
You didn't know what to call me. I don't know. Co-host, mentor.
That would work. Yeah. And I get to coach Nick along on how to do this stuff.
My PR advisor. No, Nick, you don't want to say that in public.
Yeah, and I get to do all the editing.
Zip your pants up.
She would never let me if she didn't like the show. How's that? So go see My Lavender Life, October 7th, which is past the show date.
Is it really?
This isn't going to be out before that.
Oh.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it will, because we're like the 23rd.
All right, so October 7th.
Yes.
Come out to Elevate Coffee for her Oils 101 class.
Yeah, this one should post like the 5th.
Yes.
Or
something. All right. So
anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you again next week.